The heat wave is prompting a new development about low energy reserves.
ERCOT has put out another call to conserve energy this afternoon through the evening, and the agency says it's doing what it can to prevent rolling outages.
Yeah, Tiffany Liu is live in the newsroom to show us what's happening with the grid.
Chris, records are being set this summer, and today is one of those days where we need to pay attention. Now, the latest from ERCOT this afternoon, they say there is potential to enter emergency operations due to lower reserves. Now, I want to give you guys a look at the grid right now live. The blue line is demand. That purple line is capacity. Right around 8 to 8:30 tonight, it starts to overlap. It is forecasted that demand will exceed capacity, which is why people are being asked to conserve energy now until at least 10 o'clock tonight. Now, if we can scroll down on this a little bit and take a look at the system-wide prices, around 3:15 this afternoon, it spiked at $3,300 per megawatt hour. And the latest update at 4:30, over $3,500 per megawatt hour. That gives you an idea of how much demand is happening this afternoon into the evening. Now, ERCOT says besides high demand, the other reasons for the conservation alert are wind and solar. This afternoon, wind generation is expected to be very low into the late evening, plus solar generation declines and goes offline right around sunset. Now, during these voluntary conservation hours, residents are asked to raise your thermostat a degree or two if it's safe, avoid using large appliances, turn off and unplug non-essential items, or shut off pool pumps during those peak hours. This appeal goes until 10 o'clock tonight. Of course, we're going to be monitoring the grid along the way. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
Okay, and as Tiffany said, a lot of this has to do with the wind.
Yeah, let's get to Chief Meteorologist Pete Delgas to explain what's happening outside.
Well, it's just what's interesting is it's the summer in Texas, and in the summer, guess what doesn't happen? Well, it's not windy.
Yeah.
It's windy, you know, in the spring, it's windy in the fall, but I mean, it's not unusual to not have a calm day across the state in the summertime. So the lack of planning is kind of remarkable. Well, actually, it's not after February 2021, but here we are once again.
You would think they'd be relying a lot more on solar, because the sun's out every day.
Well, they are relying on solar, but as Tiffany said, you know, the sun sets and then we don't have any solar energy. So, and there's problems with the, you know, with the fossil fuels right now, with the coal plants and also with the natural gas plants. So again, that lack of planning, here we are again, and hopefully, you know, things don't shut off. But think of this, what's going to happen in the winter? You know, what's going to happen in the winter, you know, when we have, in order to get really cold, you don't have any wind. What's going to happen in the winter? You know, do we have a repeat? Well, we hope not. Let me show you what's happening out there right now. There we are. This is not unusual to have low winds in the summertime in Texas, especially as you have these really hot temperatures, you know. Vernon, it's 10. Out in Plainview, it's 10. Lamesa, it's 13. It's down in Snyder, 10. Big Springs, 9. Abilene's 9. Gusting up to 28 in Abilene. I mean, look at this. I mean, these are the gusts. These aren't the sustained winds. The gusts are fairly unimpressive right now across the area. Then you head south of there, down a Junction. These are sustained winds. A Junction, Ozona, Big Lake. There's San Angelo, Brady, Brownwood. I mean, there's just not much happening wind-wise across the state. And you look at these wind gusts, 15, Ozona's up to 22 miles an hour. So fairly calm conditions as far as the wind goes. You throw in the heat, and boy, we've got a potential problem on our hands as we head through the next several hours. I watched that demanded supply, and you know, we've known for over 24 hours that they were going to be right there. Now with these coal plants offline and the natural gas plants offline, and record heat across the area. We hit 107 today. The record was 106, and now we have the more excessive heat warnings. That's through tomorrow.